Hello, 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 my beloved souls. It's Divine Feminine Friday. What's up, Divine Feminines? I was out of town for a couple of days this week, so I'm sorry that this video is coming out a little bit late. I just had to go with the flow of things. And we had that beautiful eclipse and Scorpio, which is really, really powerful. The eclipse energy lasts for like 4 days before, 4 days afterwards, right? So we're still really in the midst of all of that, right? Plus that beautiful new moon energy. And then we're heading towards Mars going retrograde, and we're in the pre-shadow area, energy of that, and that happens on the 30th. So today is literally like between these two spaces, right? Like that powerful eclipse energy in Scorpio, which is bringing up all of the dark, the shadows, the karma, the unhealed energy, the distortions, the dysfunctions, everything that we need to see that's kind of been hidden in the darkness, right? Everything that we kind of shoved down and pushed down, just because we didn't want to deal with it, or want to put it off to later. We love to procrastinate when it comes to our healing, right? All of that's being called up, right? And then we have this Mars retrograde energy, and it's very aggressive, right? There's a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, a lot of bitterness being drawn forth with this energy. Um, and again, it's all for awareness, right? It's like, why am I getting triggered? Why do I even care? Why is this bothering me so much? Why can this person just, like, I snap and they just throw me off, or I just don't like their energy? What's going on with it, right? Um, am I the person that's is this an energy, a reflection of what's going on within me, and that's why I keep aligning to these types of people, or is this someone's projection, right? Because there's a lot of that going on right now. A lot of people are projecting their anger, their fears, their frustrations, their their feelings of hopelessness and powerlessness, right? And so, really mindful right now to stay really grounded and centered, and to just be in a state of awareness, right? Mars retrograde slows things down, right? And Mars is the planet of power and passion and kind of moving things forward, right? That's the energy that we work with when we want to really take action and get things done, right? It rules over Aries. But as it's in the retrograde stage, right? Retrograde is always about pausing, reflecting, resting, reevaluating, reassessing things, right? And so, hey, friends, um, so we're being drawn to kind of take a pause, kind of reflect on some things, not be necessarily inactive, but just know that the things that we're doing aren't going to happen as quickly as we may have liked them to happen. And seeing if that's going to cause you frustration, anger, hopelessness. Are you going to give up on your goals and dreams just because it's not happening as quickly as you'd like it to happen, right? That's this energy right now. It's like, no, we're not giving up. Maybe we just need to look at things a little differently. Maybe we need to come at this a little bit of a different way, right? So all of that is being drawn to the forefront, as well as this energy of any undercurrents. We have like little darker energies that are kind of attacking the divine feminine and kind of really anything female at this point. So just being mindful of that, right? Being mindful of the things that you're reading, the things that you're eating, the things that you're consuming, right? The people that you're dealing with. Again, if you're in alignment with this kind of like gossipy, anger, aggressive energy, then that's something that you need to look at, right? And something that needs to be shifted out to help you stand in your power, right? We want to be using our powers for good during this time. Now, Venus just moved into Scorpio, and Venus rules love, money, and beauty, right? Creativity. And so because that is in Scorpio now, right? That's given this like this very passionate, powerful energy of Scorpio of like dealing with your taboos, dealing with your trauma, your drama, your karma, all of that stuff. It puts kind of like a softer edge on it, right? Kind of rounds out the edges so that we can deal with it, but it doesn't have to be harsh or abrasive or just we can just do it nicely, right? We can do it kindly, gently, I want to say, right? So understand the emotions that you're going to be dealing with. Understand the emotions that other people are dealing with at this time, right? Like really feel into it, right? And give your feelings a platform, space, right? It's like, oh, I don't want to be depressed, I don't want to be angry, I don't want to be frustrated. Like, no, understand if this anger is coming up, then it needs like a platform. It needs to be addressed. That doesn't mean that you go spazzing off on people or just, reacting to everything that's thrown your way or just being really guarded and defensive. No, it means like, this is really like I'm really angry about this thing and I'm really frustrated and like maybe like I need to write down why I'm so frustrated or I need to have a conversation with somebody about it, right? Like in a safe space, but this is also something I need to work through, right? Because this is taking me out of my power. This is taking me off course if I'm allowing my anger to get the best of me, right? When you allow someone to piss you off or to fuck up your vibration and lower it, you just gave your power away, right? And so we want to be really mindful during this. And I think Mars is retrograde until like January or something. We want to be really mindful towards it throughout the rest of this year and heading into the new year of just being compassionate towards ourselves and towards others and watching how we communicate, right? This Mars retrograde energy is very similar to a Mercury retrograde energy in which communication is going to come up. There's been delays happening, right? But there's also that energy of our power source, right? Like the battery in our back has been taken out and it's recharging now, right? So we're just kind of using what power is left within us, right? As we get kind of like a recharge, like imagine like charging something up like your freaking earpods, right? You charge them up, cool. You take them off the charger, now you're using them. Now maybe you have like the charging case charging, but the earpods aren't necessarily charging, right? So you're just using that energy right now until that kind of fades out until you can get a recharge again, right? That's kind of where we're at in this moment. So nothing wrong with resting, nothing wrong with reflecting, just being very mindful of how you're showing up in the world and how you're interacting with others as they also traverse these energies, right? So there's a lot for you there, Divine Feminine. Um, watch your health, right? Your mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health. Be very mindful during these times. That's all I'm going to say. Just be very mindful. I don't like to give a platform to things that are not really of the light or for our highest and greatest good or putting us in the highest and greatest timeline. But I do want you to be aware that your technology might be fucked with for a little bit, right? Like there'll be delays and shifts in your travel and arrangements, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I was traveling recently, supposed to leave Sunday night. As I go through security at TSA, their machine breaks down. Cool, not a big deal, I think. But one of my bags gets stuck, the other one goes missing. So I'm looking at people boarding my flights, and I can't get to them because TSA has somehow lost my bag. So I'm standing there. So I'm like, okay, that's frustrating. That's annoying. So ended up having to like rebook a flight for the very first thing, the freaking crack of dawn the next morning. Get a ride to go from the airport back home, whatever. But in my mind, like I was kind of annoyed that like I couldn't get my stuff. But immediately I'm like, oh, I wonder what God's protecting me from, right? Because God's, protection is sometimes uh, our delays and our delays and redirection is often God's protection, right? So I was like, okay. Went home. My daughter wasn't happy I was leaving anyway, so got to cuddle with her one more night. Whatever. Next morning, get up to go back to the airport. Cool. Get to the airport, get in fine, everything's cool. I'm going to wait for my freaking coffee. It's taking forever. I'm like, let me just go before I miss my flight again. So I go to the gate. They're having maintenance issues on the plane. Not a big deal. Sit down, relax, wait it out. I don't know what they're fixing. And then they're still having maintenance issues. And then they're still having maintenance issues. And they're like, I'm like, let me go see if there's another flight that'll get me to where I'm going because I need to catch a connecting flight anyway. The second flight that was offered to me the night before, I got I got changed to that flight. So I'm like, wow, I could have got like a couple more minutes sleep, but whatever. Again, I don't know what God is saving me from. I know that I was on a plane just now and they had maintenance issues, and I'd rather them figure it out while we're on the ground than something goes off while we're in the air, right? Boom. Cool, next, moving on, got to my destination, no problem. So, saying all that to say this, just be aware. My computer was kind of acting up. My phones were kind of acting up technology wise. Who knows what's going on in those freaking towers at the airport? My light was needed in different places at different times, right? I was protected from dealing with some unnecessary events. Sometimes we're not aware of what's going on in the background, right? We don't always need to be aware. We need to trust the process. I know that if I don't do something at a certain time, if I don't make some place at a certain thing, that I'm not meant to be there, point blank and simple. So I don't get upset about these things. I'll make the effort. I'll do everything I can humanly possible to make things happen. But at the end of the day, if it's not meant to be, it wouldn't be. If I didn't get to go, where I was going, then obviously I wasn't meant to be there. That's how I looked at it, right? That's how everybody involved looked at it. We're all like, either if you make it, cool. If you don't make it, maybe you weren't meant to be here this time around, right? Not a big deal. So I have another trip coming up. Finances is being kind of attacked at this time, right? Our economies, even little things like you get overcharged on a bill, right? And it's unexpected, or maybe you have like automatic payments coming through, and you're supposed to pay one thing, and then they end up overcharging you for something, and they take that money out, and now you're like, you know, in the freaking red with your bank account, or the money that you needed for something else has been taken, and now you have to scramble around. Be mindful during this time because, like I said, Venus is in charge of love, money, and beauty, right? And creativity. So those things with the Scorpionic energy, although we're rounded the edges a little bit, are still very much heightened in the forefront, right? So if these things are coming up with your money, is it going to put you in a state of fear, of lack, of scarcity, right? Or are you going to be able to breathe through it and go, okay, well, let me make some phone calls and kind of make this happen and kind of get this fixed, right? How are you looking at the things that are going down? In areas of love, right? Are you loving yourself, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your job? Like, what does that look like to you? Do you have healthy relationships in all of these areas? And if you don't, then that's something that you need to be mindful of, right? Because we show people how to love us, right? We show the universe what love means. We express it to ourselves, right? And so we want to be in alignment with those people that are reflecting that back to us. But if you keep meeting somebody who's not in alignment with you, if you keep dating the same kind of chick or the same kind of guy, and it's like, oh, I never meet anybody good, or people just use me for my money, or people just want me for my body, or I only meet the assholes, or I never meet anybody I can trust, or everybody I date just cheated on me, then guess what the reality is that you're creating, right? And there's something within you that is in alignment with that truth. But are you dating people? It's like, yo, I only date high quality people, right? I have loving and passionate relationships. Like, I have some of the best friends in the world, and they're so smart. I have a great relationship with my family and my children. Like, my partner is amazing and so supportive and loving, and we have so much fun together, right? Like, these are different ways. It's like, oh, I love taking care of myself. I love to look good, right? Like, I love money, and it helps me so much, and I can do great things. And the more I have, the more I can give, like, there's different conversations. And I know that it can be challenging, especially when we have this overwhelm, when you have like credit card people calling you and your rent's due or your mortgage is due, and it just can feel like everything is happening at once, right? And so you got to kind of take a step back and go, all right, Most High, all right, angels, guys, give me some guidance here. Like, what do I need to be focusing on? What should I do first? Clearly, we want to eat a bear one bite at a time, right? So just really being mindful of all of this, right? Being mindful of the love and the relationships and how it's coming out, and understanding that there's some fear, there's some jealousy, there's some bitterness, there's some betrayal, there's some abandonment issues that are going on. There's some money issues that are going on in the areas of love, whether that's with your intimate partner or with your children or your family or your friends, like that. That's an energy there, right? And it's okay to ask for help. Now, it's not okay for you to get in the habit of making other people responsible for your responsibilities, but it is okay to ask for help when you've done all that you can. You've exhausted all your possibilities. Hey, guess what? I need help. Say something. So often, and I know the throat chakra has been big activation during this time, especially because, like I said, this Mars retrograde is kind of acting like Mercury when it comes to communication. So being challenged sometimes to speak up when we need to speak up. I get that, right? But you have to know that you need to say something, right? Like, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. People don't know that you need help, they don't know to help you. And be discerning in who you ask. Are you asking the person that's gonna actually maybe help you? If they can't, they're gonna say so and it's fine. Or are you asking the person that's gonna throw it in your face every 5 minutes? Right? So maybe that's why you don't want to ask. It's like, oh my god, I asked my mom, and like I never hear the end of it. Oh, remember that time I let you money? Maybe okay, so maybe you don't ask your mom this time. Maybe you ask one of your homegirls or your homeboys. Yo, I'm fucked up right now. You know what I mean? Like, I got this working. Boom, 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 boom. Do you think you can help me? If not, cool. Thank you, but it's a conversation, right? Start planting the seeds. Start doing your thing. You never know what's going to be working on behind the scenes. Sometimes we just got to put it out into the universe. And even if it doesn't come that way, other avenues and other doorways open up for us, right? To bring us those energies of love, to show us healthy, loving relationships, to show us what a healthy relationship is with our money, right? To help fuel our creativity and bring more beauty into our life, right? A lot of gratitude, a lot of healing going on, all right? Oh my god, I've been up for like 15 minutes. I haven't even pulled a card. All right. So thank you, angels. Thank you guys for being here with me in the Divine Feminine Collective. I asked for the messages of the highest and greatest good. What does everybody need to know to be on their highest and greatest timeline? What do they need to know about this eclipse season and this Mars retrograde? What do the Divine Feminines need to know about this eclipse season and the Mars retrograde? What do we need to know? What do we need to see at this time? Oh, yes, abundance coming in. Okay, Buffalo. The prophetess of the sacred way, my heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. I love this, right? So opening up the message with love and opening up the message with abundance, right? And abundance can be love, money, joy, whatever that looks like to you. We all want different things. We're all on different pathways. But this is about the fact that we are looking forward, right? As a native woman, right, she was guided. You need to know where the buffalo are going to be before they get there so that your family can be nearby, right? Your tribe can be nearby. Like you need to know where they're headed, right? So that was her image. It was like always being one step ahead of the game in order to be able to take care of the tribe, the family, right? Really like create that abundance, knowing that like abundance is everywhere we go. Yes, I'm going to lead you over here because that's where our abundance is going to be, and that could be the buffalo, right? The food, the skins that they use for their teepees and their clothing, right? Like you're always going where the gifts are, where the food is, where the blessings are, right? And so that's it. You're being one step ahead. You're looking, taking a step back, looking at the big picture, and being like, you know what, I'm guided to go here, and trusting that, or I'm guided to go here, and trusting that path, right? We don't know everything, nor do we need to, right? You put the address in to your GPS, boom, you know where you're going. How you get there could be the route you've taken before, could be a different route. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you're still going to get to where you're going, right? It's the same thing. It's putting the freaking address into the GPS for your life and then trusting the path, trusting the guidance that you're getting, right? She had to tap in. It's not like this beautiful white buffalo cat woman had a freaking GPS, right? No, she had to tap into her higher self. She had to connect with nature and Gaia and the angels and the guides and go, you know what? We're going to go here because that's where we're being led, and trusting that path and trusting the knowledge that she got also from the 3D, right? And working with Gaia and working with the different animals, right? To bring that abundance in, following it so that she was always fed, so that her tribe was always fed, so that they always had more than enough, right? Seeing what's going on with that, with their abundance, as well as what's going on with themselves personally, right? Is there going to be grass or whatever it is for for buffalo to eat there? And if not, that's going to be a problem because if they don't have what they need, then we're not going to have what we need, right? So we're all working together. Let me make sure that there's grass and that there's water and that there's plenty there, right? So that our food supply also has their own food supply. You know what I mean? All right, we got a lot of messages. Ooh, but I see this coming out, the goddess of discernment, as we were just talking about, right? I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. This is knowing, my beautiful divine feminines, to stand in your power, right? Be discerning. Like I said, maybe you want to put it out there to your freaking. Maybe you need to ask for help and you want to ask your mom. And your mom is like douchey and throws things in your face and you don't want to bring it there, right? This is where this energy of discernment comes in, right? Know who to talk to. Know who to reach out with to. Know who to have these conversations with, right? I have a lot of amazing people in my life, but not everybody is on this path with me. So I don't have these spiritual conversations with a lot of people. If they ask and they know the work that I do, cool, and I'll pour into them, right? As a healer, as a psychic, as a channeler, whatever. If they don't, I put the information out here, like I do. I put the information out to the public every week on YouTube. You can tap into it. You can check out my Instagram or Facebook. You can tap into it. I'm not holding anything back, but I'm also not forcing anything, right? I'm discerning on who I have these conversations with. If I know that I'm going to have a conversation with you and you already got walls up and you're already blocked off and you're not trying to hear it, I'm not going to waste my energy, right? I have so many other ways to utilize my energy. I work with the violet flame all the time, clearing spaces and bringing some joy and light into the world. I am not wasting an ounce of energy on something that doesn't need it. I plant my seeds and keep it pushing. All right. Look at you, divine feminine. You are the enlightened feminine, the Dakini energy. My gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. Just to trust her intuition to be the guiding light. All right. using discernment in the messages that you're getting, right? Is this from your ego or is this from your higher self, right? Can you trust yourself? Do you trust your own voice? That's coming up right now as well, right? Can I trust my own voice? Maybe I've had a lot of fucked up relationships, karma after karma after karma, drama after drama after drama, and I don't even trust myself anymore to make the right decision. It's like, oh, well, is this actually a good guy? Is this actually a good girl? Or am I just going to end up hurt again, right? I get that. I get that fear. And so now this is why we're bringing all this energy up during the Scorpio. It's actually during eclipse season, and as we're going into this retrograde, right? It's coming to the surface so you can deal with it once and for all and be like, listen, something's got to change and nothing's going to change unless I change it, right? Like taking ownership and accountability for your life, learning to trust in your own voice, stepping back from the fray so that you can hear clearly, right? Instead of like being in the midst of all the drama and the trauma and the gossip and you watching this, you listen to that, you talking shit to this. No, sometimes you got to step back and be with your own energy, right? Get some clarity, get some discernment going through you, right? Is this what I truly want, or is this something that someone said that I would want? Or something someone told me that I should do, right? This isn't about the voice of your parents or your children or your loved ones or your spouse or your partners or your coworkers. No, it's like, what do I want to do? What does this mean to me, right? Does this make me happy? Will this bring joy into my life? Is this what I really want to do? Is this what I really want to be with, right? So many of you are in relationships with people because somebody is comfortable or somebody said that you should be, right? I don't know how many freaking women I meet that are married just to be fucking married. They got a husband just to say they have a husband. Like, why? You're miserable. They don't do shit for you. You're like, they're not bringing anything into your life. You look 10 years older now than you did the day you met them. What is the purpose? Because you'd rather have something than what? Than just be with your own energy and you're uncomfortable with being with yourself. Guess what? If you shift that energy out and you start loving and honoring yourself and you tell the universe, you know what, I'd rather be alone than with anything less than, guess what? The universe can still align you with something that's on your level or better. Upgrade yourself, right? And that starts with trusting your intuition. Your gut instinct goes off about somebody cool. Don't ignore the red flags, right? You feel some kind of way, go with that first response. Don't allow the egoic mind to talk you into it. It's like, oh no, too many red flags here. Yeah, but they have a nice car, or they're really great in bed, or I know that they've been through a lot of stuff. We've all been through a lot of stuff. I've been through a lot of stuff. I don't take it out on my partners. Not their problem. Been through a lot of stuff. I don't take it out on my kids. Not their problem. That's for me to deal with. Right? Handle my shit. And when I know that I'm not handling them right, I take a step back and be like, my fault. Got triggered. Gotta check myself, right? Is it easy always? No. Is it something that I've always done? Absolutely not. Is it something that I try to do now on a daily basis? Absolutely. Right? And it's made me a better mother, a better partner, a better friend because of it. Because I'm accountable for how I'm showing up in the world. I'm accountable for how I'm talking to people. I realize the power of our words, right? But I had to get still and I was isolated. I was literally isolated from like almost everybody I knew and loved because I had to learn to trust in my own voice again, trust in my own guidance, really tap into that energy and pour that into myself, right? Refill my own cup instead of looking for it externally. And it was a hard path to walk, right? This energy is going to play out like a dark night of the soul for many people. It's not easy, but you're on path and it's worth it. Pope Joan, the plaintiff of possibilities. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. That's you, beautiful divine feminines, right? We live in a world of infinite possibilities. So don't box yourself into something or limit yourself because someone said something listen, this is your life, your script, your play, your boat that you're like freaking the captain of, right? What do you want to do? Doesn't matter if it's not possible for them. They're not you. Maybe it wasn't possible for them because they're not in alignment with that, right? But you have all these possibilities in front of you. It should really be like, where do I want to start? Like a kid in the candy store. It's like there's just so many options. What do I want to try first? That's how we're living our life in under this new energy. All right? Akalina, the goddess of the never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. We're all being cracked apart right now. We're all being cracked apart. And we're being cracked apart so that we can let our light shine. The only thing that's got us caged in is the egoic mind, and that fear and those limits and those doubts and those walls that we build up. We start cracking that shit open, and we're letting our freaking beautiful sovereign being shine through. And that's transformative. That's when we show up in the world. That's when we're standing in our power. That's when we're standing in love. That's when we're cloaked in grace. That's when we're communicating clearly, right? Diana, Queen of the Wilderness. The language of the natural world is a frequency of love. I love all this love energy coming through. This is my mother tongue. Again, connecting with Gaia, right? The animals. We had the first card out, right? The white buffalo calf woman, right? The animals. Before I even started your reading, I saw this beautiful bird like flying. I saw the shadow, rather, of a bird flying over, right? And I heard the birds calling to us while I was doing the reading. You know, like get outside into nature. If you can't, I know where I'm at. It's been getting a little chilly, so I haven't been outside as much. But then bring nature into the house, right? Work with some plants. Listen to some freaking shamanic drums on YouTube or something, right? Do what you can to connect with that energy, because that energy is not only healing for you, it's talking to you, right? And it's loving on you. Gaia has given us a wonderful planet to live on, right? With all of our needs being met. Joan of Arc, the warrior of light. I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, we got to show up. Show up and show out sometimes, right? Spiritual warfare that we got going on, right? World War III is spiritual, point blank and simple, right? So where are you at on your path? Are you going to stand in your light and your truth and shine as bright as fuck? And be here, and knowing that people are gonna come at you kind of crazy and, oh, you're crazy, you know what I'm talking about, in peanut gallery, right? Or are you gonna fall into the familiar and the comfortable of the kind of lower vibrational, darker energies that are keeping you off path, that are keeping you distracted, that are delaying you from your goals and dreams? Some of the shit that's going on, these little slight delays, slight distractions that we're getting every day, those little words that are like, oh, you'll be fine, you don't need to work on that yet, or nobody's even going to believe you anyway because you're crazy, or what do you know about that? Like all those little comments, side comments that you're hearing, that's not the Most High telling you that. God speaks to us in love and compassion, right? With complete warmth. Yes, some of us channel and our messages may be a little bit more aggressive, but the message is still one cloaked in love. It's never going to be a, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you don't know enough, you're stupid, nobody's going to hear you, that you're asking for too much, you're wishing to, that's never going to be the message from the divine, because like we said before, this is a world of infinite possibilities. The only times we limit ourselves is when we choose to limit ourselves. So this is just reminding you that you can be, do, or have anything that you want, right? And you're never alone. If you're feeling a little bit vulnerable right now, right? If you're feeling a little bit worried, call upon Archangel Michael to help. Big time Archangel Michael will come in and help support you, right? Help put that battery in your back and remind you of your worth and your deservingness, okay? Thecla, the prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times and all places. I am my own. This is a practice that you should be doing every single night, Divine Feminine. Like literally. I call my power back from all people, places, things, in all directions of time and space across all galaxies, realms, dimensions. I call all my energy back from all people, places, things, from across all galaxies, dimensions, in all directions of time and space. Now, now, now. Do it every single day. Remember your own power. Remember your true worth. Remember your inner strength. Right? If you're Leo, this is another message for you. But really remember your inner strength. Own who you are. Stand in your power, right? Fight for what you believe in. Connect with beautiful Gaia. And know that the things that are being removed from you right now it's not as a punishment, right? It's because the light needs to shine through to remind you that you're a child of the universe and you can have anything that you possibly want, right? That you are the enlightened divine feminine, right? Enlightened, a sky dweller, right? You work beyond just the black and the white, right? You're in the gray, you're in the middle, you're making magic happen, right? And you're gonna use your discernment. That's tapping into your higher self. The part of you that's always connected with the divine. Like that's where that discernment comes in, right? Because it's leading you what? To your abundance of love, of prosperity, whatever abundance looks like for you. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna pull a card from Angels of Atlantis and a card from the Gateway Destiny, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you, angels and guides. Can I get one card, please, for the divine feminine, starting this eclipse, Mars retrograde? What do I need to know? Fuck out of here. Look. Look, see? Abundance is coming in for you big time, divine feminines. You got to be open to it. And how do we do that? Bottom of the deck, intuition. Trusting your intuition, right? Follow through with your intuition to receive your abundance. Start here by being grounded and centered, and then we go here to receiving our abundance. When you're in alignment with yourself and your truth and the divine, then you get all of the goodness coming to you. So right now, check your vibration. Where you vibing at? Keep it high. All right. Thank you, angels and guys, for being here with me in the beautiful divine feminines. Once again, can I get one card, please? For this beautiful eclipse on Mars retrograde. One card for the beautiful divine feminines. Perfect. Can't even make this up. Can't even make this up. Stepping into stillness. My power is born in the majesty of silence. Like I said, you have to take a step back from the nonsense, right? Hear your own voice, not the voice of all the peons and peanut gallery around you. No, the voice of your soul. And guess what, my babies? The soul whispers. It never shouts. The soul's whisper. So you gotta tune all the way in. Tune all the way in. I feel like some of you are becoming more clairaudient, right? You're starting to hear things or understand. Maybe you've been getting ringing in your ears. And ringing in your ears is almost like a radio frequency, right? It's sometimes we just gotta adjust the knob in order to hear what's coming in, right? So just start tuning in more if that's for you. And then bottom of the deck, look at this, manifesting dreams. Look at the freaking cornucopia. Another abundance card. Are you shitting me? That's 3 cards of abundance in this freaking reading. My dreams are coming true. Hell yeah, they're coming true. Hell yeah, they're coming true. Right? Step into it. Cultivate it. Walk into it. Lean into it. The shit that's being taken away from you right now, guess what? You can't take that heaviness with you to where you want to go. Your dreams are about to come true. It's lit. You don't need to hold on to all of that stuff. It's time to let it go, move on. It's like if you're relocating, do I need to take every single toiletry with me? No, they have freaking pharmacies and stores where you're going, right? For the most part. You know, it's like some things you just don't need anymore. That dress that you've had in your closet for freaking 2 years, but you haven't worn, it's time to sell it or it's time to give it away, right? For many of you, this is just you cleaning your house energetically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Start cleaning up and making space for the new. Start cleaning up and making space for the new. It's your time. I love this for you, divine feminines. Powerful. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. I hope you have the most powerful day ever. Have a really beautiful weekend, and I will see you guys soon. Later.